Hello.
Hello. How's your uh 2 weeks or so been?
It's been okay. I've been staying busy with work.
Hmm.
I saw I saw a few of my friends again, which was cool. Um,
Nice.
but um, yeah, I've just been chilling. I'm excited. My grandparents, or just my nana, is coming
Hmm.
into town. I haven't seen her in a while, which is really exciting. Um, and I don't know. I told my mom that I was thinking about going tomorrow to I know because I know there's some sort of march going on I think
Hmm.
tomorrow, and I was like I'm thinking about going, and then at first she was kind of reluctant just because of what happened last night, but then
Yeah.
she texted me and she was like I think that we should all go if it's gonna be like a march or like a peaceful thing.
Hmm.
So that
Do
was
you
cool.
do you know what happened last night? I have no
Yeah, I
idea.
drove past it, dude. I like saw it.
Like,
And then I read up on it this morning. Yeah.
or like I'm actually asking because I don't know.
I see, I see. So, okay, so what? Here's I'll give you my perspective, and then I'll like
Okay.
tell you what I
Okay.
read.
All right.
Is that so? I was driving home from a friend's house,
Hmm.
and I I got off of I 105. It's kind of close to downtown, and there was just a huge fire in the street, like at the on ramp to get on.
Hmm.
So like the block, like the intersection of Jefferson and Seventh, right at that on ramp. A lot of bikers, a lot of people um, were kind of blocking it, but you can see the fire. It was huge. Um, and I drove right past it. I didn't have any like issues getting around. Like people didn't like stop me or anything, which
Hmm.
is good because I heard the next day that they did they apparently they stopped a few people. I think maybe that would have been people driving towards it. Um, but because I kind of just went like near it.
Hmm.
Um, but this morning I read, yeah, it started as like a peaceful protest outside of I think the courthouse downtown,
Hmm.
and within like 2 hours they had like moved up to that area, and yeah, they started a fire, and then eventually they started breaking windows. So like the Five Guys and the Jimmy Johns over there. I
Hmm.
guess that there were some windows that got broken, is what I read. But yeah, there was I don't remember her name, but the girl that was kind of leading the chanting, she was like, I didn't even like organize this event. Like someone just handed me a bullhorn, and so she like led the chanting, and apparently she
Yeah.
tried to like stop them from breaking windows, but they
Hmm.
weren't listening to her, and
Yeah.
she was like, they're adults that they chose to do that. I tried to stop them, but I couldn't, which uh I don't know, makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but it was crazy just to see because I didn't expect it to be going on here, or at least
Hmm.
not to that like scale. But it
Yeah.
was, I mean, I don't want to say cool because it wasn't, because riots aren't cool, but like I was, I guess I just underestimated like the impact that it would have even in like this community.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been like not arguing, but like kind of arguing with people over all of this on my
Hmm.
Snapchat.
Hmm.
It's been interesting. And I'm like, as I'm arguing, I'm like, I am underqualified for this.
Um.
um, I don't know. I recorded a little snippet of the fire that I have since
Hmm.
deleted off of my story. Um, a friend of mine said that it perpetuated that the riots were violent, and I was like, I don't know. I don't make
Hmm.
any like comments or observations in that video. I literally just like pressed record for a few seconds.
Hmm.
Like I took a video of like what was happening.
Yeah.
I'm not making it look any kind of way. That's like what was happening. but I don't know. I remember I read this thing this morning that was just about how like just how in danger people are for doing things like this, and just like that they're being targeted. So
Yeah.
I've since I deleted that video because I was like, I'm not about to.
Oh, you had like people's faces and stuff in
I not really. Like you can see
it.
like people, but there's definitely not any clear like footage of anyone's faces. But I wasn't gonna take that chance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
so I
get
was
that.
just like, yeah,
Yeah, you can see what I was talking about, like second to last time or whatever, about like the importance of wearing masks and stuff.
yeah,
Mm.
definitely. So
Mm-hmm.
would you now would you, if I if this event tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
is this one of those things where you would be like wear a mask?
Um,
I don't really know
yeah.
what the
I mean,
details of it.
I'm pretty bad in practice. Everything I'm doing is pretty much just theory. So yeah,
Uh
I would definitely like have that as an option. I have no idea how that's going to turn
smart.
out.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of like
that's yeah. No,
it
go
works
ahead.
better if like everyone's wearing a mask, right? And if you're the only
Yeah.
one wearing a mask, then it's I mean,
Yeah.
you won't be because also the corona's happening, so people are going to be wearing masks anyway.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah.
Is the quarantine basically like over? Like,
I don't know. It kind of
I
feels
don't
like
get
it
it.
sometimes. No, I don't think it's over. Um,
But like, you're going out and seeing people, everything.
oh, my quarantine's low key over.
Yeah,
I don't want this to make me sound irresponsible.
I don't know. It seems like everyone's doing it that I've talked to. I don't
It's,
know.
I mean, that doesn't make it better necessarily. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of, my philosophy on it has just kind of been like, I'm an essential worker. I see strangers for hours almost every day.
Hmm.
Um, so, if my friends who know that about me are comfortable seeing me, I don't think that my risk increases. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it's already
Yeah, I get that.
it's already as high as it could be.
Yeah.
Because at least I know where my friends have been, for the most part.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Um, we're getting customers that are getting a little bit more lax with the rules and policies, which has been a little
Yeah.
frustrating.
Hmm.
Um, like we have to sanitize the carts before we give them to people. This one time, I was like cleaning them, and this lady went to grab one. I was like, I haven't cleaned this yet. She's like, I don't care. And I didn't stop her, but I was thinking about, I was like, if there had been a supervisor there, I would have gotten in some trouble.
Hmm.
Like next time something like that happens, I'm gonna have to be like, no, actually, you need to go grab one of the clean ones over there, and I
Yeah.
have to keep cleaning these. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's been interesting.
Hmm.
Um, it kind of feels like my quarantine's over. They reopened the gyms, and me and my friends went to, like, the day that they opened. We went. There were like 3 people in there, so we went and we like cleaned off every piece of equipment before and after we touched it. They had like hand sanitizer at every station.
Hmm.
So we got to work out in real quick, and then I was like, I don't think I want to do that again for a little while. I want to see like what happens to the world first.
Yeah.
It was like nice and re-energizing. I think we low key like needed just to be able to like get that out and do some of that stuff that we'd been missing. But
Yeah.
but I definitely think that like I don't know how responsible other people are being there. So I want to
Yeah.
see how that goes for people first.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. I still haven't even like since I first got back. I still haven't seen anyone but Logan outside.
Oh
Like,
jeez.
I don't know. Like
Uh,
I don't know. It's just awkward asking people, I guess, because like they all have like very legitimate excuses at this point.
right.
Right.
But yeah, I've been like arguing with people kind of like just about shit I like don't know if I'm qualified to say or speak on.
Yeah.
People just being like, "Hey, that's too far." And me being like, "I don't know about that, if I'm being honest."
Yeah.
um yeah.
So just for some context on the rest of the video, here's the protest thing that I wrote up that talk about. A couple points for the record. 1. Look not at what someone is saying, but at what their words are doing. If they just have some misgivings about The degree of violence, they are engaging in and perpetuating an authoritarian pro-racism narrative, regardless of what they tell you they meant by it. 2. People on the right or center are lying to you when they tell you they don't find the violence and riotous nature of the protests acceptable, and that somehow undermines their credibility. Everyone has their breaking point, and politics is inherently the distribution of violence. They, being specifically the people on the right in denial about their own racism, not the explicit racists, don't disagree with the violence, they disagree with the acknowledgement of racism in any capacity. Bottom line, do not engage with them without a convertible audience, and with some confidence you can make the opponent look like an idiot wrong on the facts and a bigot wrong on basic morality. 3. You've already converted everyone you're going to get to the idea of racism exists and is bad. Time to move on to cops are inherently bad, and such axioms that actually push the envelope a little bit. The nice thing about living in an oligarchy is you don't need to bother getting a majority of votes to go a certain way. That has never changed anything for the better in the US. What can change things, a bit, and never be satiated by said bit into ever returning to complacency, is an active minority disrupting the law and order the establishment pretends to care about, for the sake of ignoring the needs of people led into believing they are without power, simply because the true execution of such proletarian power will always put you at odds with the power of the state, enforced with violence by the police. Other points. If you're white, go antagonize a cop ASAP. The good ones are presently doing their best to remain cognitively dissonant of their active role in centuries of oppression. Don't let them. Don't think we just need to fix America to the standards of those around it. Canada, China, Israel, they're all genociding as we speak too. Protect your identity. Masks, black clothes, everything. A dude from a protest a couple dozen dead black men ago got convicted because his pants were caught on a reporter's video of protesters.
Yeah, all right. So you wanna move on to like formal talking about stuff?
Let's get into this. I've
All
been
right.
thinking about this nonstop for like the last 2 days.
All right. So do you want to go first? Because I have like stuff written down. So if you want to go
You have
first,
stuff written down. I think you should maybe go
And
first. And
no,
when my
okay.
question,
Well, okay. So what about the stuff I posted on Instagram? Like you said, you had thoughts about that. If you want to just
all right. Here's my thoughts about like talking about this on live on a live stream. Not that there's anyone watching other than me who can't even technically watch it right now. But I don't know. I'm going to say that as a hetero white man, I was raised to believe that, or I was raised to believe the narrative that cops are here to protect all of us, which I have clearly seen is not the case at all. But it's still very hard for me sometimes to not distrust, but like feel comfortable antagonizing authority, especially authority that I've been like conditioned to trust and respect.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's been a little bit of a like back and forth for me.
Yeah.
I think that like specific like the biggest thing for me, or like the biggest reaction like that I had on your story was when you were like, go antagonize a cop right now.
Yeah.
You're just like, go antagonize any cop.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa. Whoa. What do you mean any cop? And I don't know like what antagonism like is supposed to look like in this case either. I guess. I don't know. All I know, and I'm not going to say anything like powerful that hasn't already been said. All I know is that people are dying for no reason other than hate, and it's gone on for way too long. And and I get why people are reacting the way they are right now, because I feel like everything else we've tried and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good summary.
Yeah. I have a friend who wants to be a police officer, who I really, this is a really close, good friend of mine, who is a wonderful person, but he wants to go into the police academy, and I worry for him, and I don't know how to support him while also supporting this movement. So I've been like trying to think about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't figured that out yet. I want to know, because I just straight up just didn't get it, what the section you have about the good ones, what that meant
In the context of the
in your story.
in the last
In
part where I said go antagonize a cop, and then below that I said the good ones.
Yeah, you said the good ones or something, and I don't understand what you said. So I was just asking,
Okay.
like,
All right.
reword it, maybe to explain it to me.
Yeah, so let's go over that.
All right.
Yeah, so first, like, I get what you're saying. It is hard to grow up in that, and then, I mean, I guess hypothetically, I get what you're saying, because personally, I definitely have never had any trouble antagonizing authority. So,
right.
Yeah. But no, I get it. All right, so
Am I fucking up?
No, it's good.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing I said, look not at what someone is saying, but at what their words are doing. If they just have some, this is exactly what we were talking about.
And no, I understood this. We've touched this.
Yeah, it's the speech I think. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of this is just to the degree that it's directed at you, it would be like this is all like political theory stuff, all informed basically, like this is in practice what is useful to take from the video that we watched the last 2 times, right?
Right.
Like this is the beeping noise.
Necessarily, but I want to talk about like social media activism.
Like, what about it?
Well, I don't know. I want to talk about what we consider taking action. You know.
Mm-hmm. And like,
does you post something on your Instagram story? Does that count as you doing something? Are you off the hook now?
Well, you're not off the hook for anything you do. You never fulfill a quota of anything.
I feel like people act like we do, though. I agree.
Oh, they absolutely like that's the whole culture. That's the whole culture of just go out and vote, as if that fulfills any quota.
Right. No, I agree with you. I just like what's the quote people keep putting up? I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like if you choose to be neutral, you've chosen the side of the oppressor.
Yep.
Yeah, and so people are like, oh, okay, well, if I post a Black Lives Matter thing on my Instagram story, then I'm good. Cool. I did not choose the oppressor. I did something nice.
Yeah.
And which is exactly what I did. So
yeah, I mean it's exactly what I did.
Basically, I'm off the hook. I'm good. Yeah, I basically solved racism, and we're good now. We can pack it up and go home. But no, I don't know. I feel like people really do act like if you don't say anything on social media, you know, then fuck you, you don't care. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't usually. I don't look to social media for my like. I don't look to that as a place for me to like be politically charged, because I prefer to do it, you know, in conversation with my people in person.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You know, Instagram is still just a place where I just like put up pictures of me and see pictures of other people.
Yep. And I mean, I guess it's different if like you get replies from people. Like if you're arguing with people on Snapchat, and Logan tells me he argues with people on Snapchat all the time.
I don't argue with people a lot, but I don't know. This is the first time I've posted anything.
Yeah, that would be more practical than or doing something in practice than just posting something into the ether, and whoever sees it sees it, and no one like interacts with it.
Yeah. I also just find it really interesting, like the back and because people have been posting. Some people I know have been putting up stuff on their story about this, like just lots of stuff on it for like the past few days. But then they'll also put in just stuff from their own lives. So you like click through their story and it's like politically charged, Black Lives Matter, selfie of me getting out the shower.
Yeah.
And then more like it's this weird I don't know. It's kind of, it gives me like whiplash a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because it's, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know. All right.
Right. So the things I got. This is just a messy list of everything that I saw that was bad over the course of this. So, uh,
Right.
yeah, we got the cop was in a group of cops that Amy
Mm-hmm.
Klobuchar, the presidential candidate, chose not to prosecute for killing civilians. So he's killed two and been directly involved in killing of four more innocent or practically innocent people, and has like at least 12 police brutality complaints against him that are just private and like unavailable to further scrutiny.
Huh.
Yeah,
What?
so like you have like seriously litigious prosecutors like Klobuchar in every other respect tend to just not really want to prosecute cops ever.
Right.
Mm.
I, oh man, I watched, because I literally, I watched the video like right before I got on. So I did see that he was in a group.
Oh, like
Um,
this time?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Is
okay,
that what
yeah.
you were talking about?
No, I said like in the past he's been in groups that have killed civilians already, like at least twice,
Oh,
like killing
shit.
at least six people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I know he was in a group in this one that there were like three other cops,
Yep.
and I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
like the good cop, quote unquote, thing to do there is like pull the gun on your fellow cop or something, right?
well, yeah.
Then get
No,
fired.
I'm not saying that any of those cops are the good ones.
No, but what I'm saying is like if you do a good cop thing, pretty much ever, you're gonna get fired for it.
Yes. No, that's, yes. um, jeez.
Yeah.
um, I was wondering what I hadn't looked up yet or hadn't found out was like what did they arrest him like for? Like what were they charging him with?
There was like a forgery complaint,
What?
like a forgery complaint or something.
That he like forged something?
Yeah, like not a
Huh.
violent thing in any way. Yeah.
Not, yeah, like what?
Hmm. Yeah.
Jeez.
So a cop in Toronto has already killed another black guy since that. So that's fun.
Yeah.
They ran out of non-lethal ammo, which is cool in itself that the protesters like ran them out of non-lethal ammo. Except that doesn't mean they're shooting into the crowd a lot. And they started using normal bullets, fired as warning shots in the air and whatever. And a bunch of people have been shot. I think more in the Louisville rallies.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, this is definitely like I remember like when we were talking about like MLK and how he was like
Yeah.
socialist and supported stuff like this, and you're like, wasn't he the peaceful like counterpoint to Malcolm X? I mean, to
Mm-hmm.
a degree, but like what like this is still something that he would support, like in theory at least. Like
Right.
a riot is the language of the unheard or whatever, right? And like he was not seen as peaceful by the white majority at the time, or like by any number of metrics. Like yeah,
Right.
it's all
So
relative. So you got MLK. He supported this and like weaponizing him as like do the peaceful demonstration like MLK is ridiculous and disingenuous, and they would not like it anyway if you acted like MLK, or they wouldn't even like it if you acted genuinely like the fake MLK that they project, because they still don't like peaceful protests. They still turn
right.
peaceful protests violent.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the masks are still important. We talked about that already.
Uh-huh.
I mentioned it on my story, but like there's a guy who got identified just because his pants were in like a blurry shot, got by a
That's
reporter.
crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
Mhm.
yeah, no, people are getting lynched for this. People are getting like really, really murdered
Mhm.
just for being associated with this stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And you have like right wing people running through the clouds, like clubbing people over the head or whatever, and the cops aren't
mhm.
doing anything about that.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
I I was talking to someone who told me today that like, and I haven't like fact checked this, but I don't know, they're usually one to
Mhm.
be well researched and stuff. That like undercover cops go to these protests and
Yeah,
make them
absolutely.
more violent. Yeah,
There's
they,
like
they
a
smash
decent
windows and
there's a decent amount of evidence that cops started the AutoZone breaking windows and fire and stuff.
oh yeah,
Like more than usual. And then you also have just, oh yeah, there probably are several cops among the protesters doing other violent things. Yeah, um, yeah. I'll send you some stuff after we're done if you want to follow up, whatever's. Yeah, everything is violence, right? In politics, so it doesn't like
yeah,
all of the complaints of violence are like just
yeah.
illegitimate, flat out.
So what would you say to someone who was like, I don't, or someone like who sees these riots and is like, that's too far. That's not gonna solve anything. Violence is only gonna lead to more violence.
It literally already did solve something. It got the state or whatever did it to like arrest the guy.
Yeah, arrest the guy.
So it already did something.
It already
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
yeah,
we've already done something, and this isn't violence that's gonna breed more violence alone. This is violence bred this violence. Like this,
yeah,
like this is
yeah. It's a
like
continuation.
they're right that violence leads to more violence, but like this is,
Yeah,
we
but
were pushed to this.
it's ridiculous to like blame the protesters for like something that clearly arose out of existing material conditions and to
Right.
not put any effort into figuring out what those initial material conditions might be and how you might address those
Yeah.
instead of just quelling the riot, which only can be quelled with more violence. Like if you're against violence perpetuating violence, then you should be against the police violence against the protesters, which is undoubtedly and then obviously you can follow that with like, oh, but the police violence is justified. Okay, but then you can justify violence. So then you justify the violence of the protesters. Like, there's no actual way out of admitting that you just support violence when it's in your favor. And basically, everyone supports violence. They're just like relative levels of in denial and selectivity about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Americans are absolutely obsessed with property rights. Like, this is all violence against property, not people, for the vast majority of that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's this big a deal that people are so blatantly valuing Target above human lives. It's like, like that's just their actual value system.
Yeah.
Nothing you do about that.
I don't know. People are being mad. You're destroying,
Mm-hmm.
you're destroying other people's property. You're destroying these businesses. Like we're not putting even a dent in these corporations.
Yeah.
Oh, one of their small outlets in Eugene, Oregon has a few broken windows. Damn, their stocks must be just crashing.
Yeah.
They're gonna, it's I don't know, dude. Like, I just I don't know. I guess I feel bad for, the minimum wage workers at these places that are getting busted up.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel bad for them.
25% of the population is already out of their jobs. So I mean, this is pretty good conditions for
yeah.
Yeah, we got AOC tweeted something like, basically politicians are afraid to curtail cops' powers because like the cop unions and everything, they just have like so much power and they're the ones with the weapons and such. It's like complete subversion of like democracy, whatever. Yeah, so like you have vigilantes that might be cops in disguise, but could also just be like general right-wing people who are like running over, shooting at protesters and like running over with cars. And the police just don't really care, right?
Yeah.
You have like gangs coming together to help protesters against the police. Like that alone makes them preferable in terms of serving the community. Like, yeah, gangs are negative, but they're perpetuated by material conditions around them and also perpetuated by the police themselves. So, I mean, yeah, we'll get into that some other time. There's another random police incident where, a woman with a walker was assaulted and battered by a British Columbia RCMP officer who believed it was suspicious that she refused to give her name or allow him to search her purse voluntarily. And for that, a 7-year veteran of the force decided it was necessary to wrestle a 61-year-old woman to the ground.
I don't understand, like, I can't imagine. I mean, I guess I can kind of imagine, but just like having just zero consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
Just to the point where you're like, if people aren't complying with me, I can and should do anything to make them comply.
Yep.
And like, that's the right thing to do. I can't, I just don't understand how you develop that mentality. I mean, I guess I kind of do understand how. I just
Yeah, we'll get into it sometime about how you do it. Yeah. I don't have a short answer. It's the culture.
Yeah, no. I just
it's the culture, yeah.
61-year-old woman, how do you
Okay, wait, here's the best part. Meyer eventually gave up on handcuffing her. So it's a 61-year-old woman with a walker, and not only did he wrestle her to the ground, but he failed to handcuff her.
He failed to cuff her? Jeez. You're not even good at being a pig, dude. Come on. That sucks. I hate that. That's so funny, though. Not that the woman got wrestled to the ground, but that she couldn't even commit to a hate crime. Not a hate crime, but
just a crime.
Violent. Just a crime.
Yeah.
Just a hateful crime.
One thing I've noticed is there's a lot of like liberals being like quote unquote surprised by the degree of violence, right? I think most of the surprise when you get in arenas like this is like this event doesn't fit your worldview of what the cops should be or should do, and that gets shaken a lot in instances like these. You can, even if it's just subconsciously, you can be like looking for an ideology that fits better inside it what these cops have done in terms of like why in reality are people doing the things that they are, what motivations they actually have. Also there's a lot of like anarchist principles going on like amongst the protesters. Like after the target was raided, you had like people just giving out supplies and like people only taking what they need and stuff. It's really cool like to see that just develop naturally in practice. Like there aren't anarchist theoreticians. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but like that's not the majority of the protesters, right? This is just like innate human action to when you're trying to work in something like that. Yeah, you don't just hoard all of the stuff. You like put it communally, and you can like take what you need, and everybody helps everybody else. And it's really, I mean, it's not like an argument, but it's a nice example of a refutation of the idea that like humans are innately selfish and whatever else capitalism has to say about it.
Right.
Yeah. Undercover cops pushing for violence. Oh, the police arrested the black CNN reporter. Like as he was saying, yeah, we are CNN. Like we're here to film it. Like just tell us where to go. If you don't want us to film something, like we'll just go where you tell us to go. And they still just arrested him and dragged him away.
Wait, what do you know his name?
Omar Jimenez.
Okay, so it's all right. I saw a tweet by someone else then. There's someone put this tweet by a reporter on their story, and I don't understand what he meant. So one of his things was kind of out of context. I just hold on. He's a reporter, and that's crazy. I don't understand. I just don't understand how you could be so. I don't know, because of course I can understand. Just hate it. I don't know. He's saying some powerful stuff on his Twitter. This guy's name, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to dox him. But he's really, really saying some powerful stuff about his experiences. Jeez. Can't imagine being a time like that. It's not okay. Yeah. What else you got?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much is like. It's just like cops bad, like cool, like yeah,
Cops bad.
yeah.